Hi, everybody. I wanted to speak today a little bit about an add-on from what we had last week of you are important and why stepping into your mission isn't about you, it's actually about everybody around you. But instead of this time talking about your soul mission, I want to talk about it through the funnel of connections. You have no idea why you were brought here into this world. And it's pretty silly, even if you have your dream job, your dream family, like to look and be able to definitively say, this is why I was brought here. You don't have one mission, you have infinite amount of missions, and you don't know what those missions are. And a lot of those missions might seem insignificant through you because you're looking at it through the human lens. But it might sound silly to say you might have been brought here to literally pick up a certain piece of trash in a certain moment and put it in its right spot. That could have been one of your missions. We have an infinite amount of missions here. When you were born or when you were conceived, it was basically an understood energetic understanding that the world couldn't continue without you. Whether you believe in God or not, there was a push there that the next most best thing for this world was for you to be created. Okay. When you were created, also all of your missions there were given the understanding that you were there to meet that. The missions being who you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to be, when, who you're supposed to connect to. All of that came together when you were conceived or before you were conceived, depending on what your belief system is. But there was an understanding that there are certain things that were meant for you to meet. Okay. So for example, there are some things that are really easy for you, like super easy for you. Like, those 12-year-old kids who just totally understand how computers work and tech works, and they can already do Java by the time they're 8 years old. And there are people we all know who like still don't really understand how to mute yourself during a Zoom call. There's like a whole spectrum. So the things that are really easy for you could be really hard for somebody else. And the things that are hard for you can be really, really easy for somebody else. This isn't here how to categorize who here can survive an apocalypse and who here can't, but rather an understanding of there is a rhythm of collaboration happening, a possibility of collaboration is a better way to say it. That there's all of these grooves, like the way that a puzzle works, there's all of these grooves and curves, these convexes and concaves that are happening that we can actually be using to implement a bigger picture. We can be implementing to complete a big picture. Instead, what we do is that we think that we're an individual, and therefore we say, like, I suck at this, or I'm bad at this, or I'll never be good enough, or I'm not worthwhile because I don't have these talents. Instead of saying, hey, I'm a puzzle piece with this area that needs completion and this area that has surplus in it. And then when you find the people and the missing pieces that have the surplus where you are missing, and realizing it's their mission to help you complete this part of yourself, and it's your mission to help others complete their areas. That's really what's going on. And the idea is with a big, big, big lie that causes a lot of distress and anxiety and isolation is that we believe that we are the end result. We believe that we're the only result. We believe that we are an island. When you believe that you're an island, that it's all up to you to fix all of your own problems, and you are responsible for every tiny thing that happens in your life, and you're not allowed to ask for help, and you're not allowed to ask for support, and you're not allowed to look around and lean on other people, that actually stops the movement from flowing. Because think about the puzzle metaphor again. If one puzzle piece decides actually it's selfish to lean into the picture, and it actually has to complete its own picture, what's going to happen? The rest of the picture won't be completed. So you are actually holding back the movement of the world when you don't let yourself feel into like your humanness, your puzzle piece-ness, that you have surplus and deficiencies. And your deficiencies are a place for other people to give, and that's part of their mission. And your surplus is a place for yourself to give, and that's part of your mission. And think about it, anytime that you, let's say, had that extra bit of money and somebody asked, or you had that resource, that listening ear, and somebody was crying and you had time and space to listen, or you had that extra room in your apartment and somebody needed a place to crash for a couple of nights. Obviously we all have those boundaries within those contexts, but those moments when you do feel like you have the ability to give and you can give and an opportunity shows up, not only is it like, oh, that would be nice, but it's exciting to be able to give. feels really good. It's like stepping into a hot bath. It feels like, oh, okay, good. This was extra. This actually needed to go to this person. This actually, that I needed to be plugged in there. So if that's happening on a giving level, that's also happening on a receiving level. When you hold yourself away from the village, let's call it, from the great bigger picture, from the puzzle, and you say, no, I don't need anything. I don't need anyone. I can do it all on my own. And I should do it all on my own because that's what it means to be a selfless or independent person. You're stopping the flow of the village. You're stopping that cycle from happening. So by taking away your exceptionalism, that you're special, for some reason you're supposed to do life all by yourself, and you plug back in of you are a neighbor, you are a friend, you are an uncle, cousin, brother, sister, mother, lover, whatever it is, all of those multiple titles that you hold, and you let life flow through those title tunnels. You're letting the world move through again, and connection is the way that we actually let a lot happen there. And that was a huge lesson I got from living on the eco village, is that A, people want to help, B, there's nothing shameful for asking for help, and C, everything works better when we're really clear on the table of what we need, what we're missing, what we're really good at, what we don't want to do, what we're happy to do. And then solutions just start moving through naturally in that way. So start being with the village today. Ask yourself, what can I do? What can I do today to give support? And what can I do today to actually ask for support? How can I ask for support today? How can I be in part of this great bigger picture? Where are there areas where I actually can use more support and it would be helpful for other people as well? And also would create connection, would foster connection. So many examples of this. I have one friend who they grow chickens, they house chickens, and they have a lot of eggs because they get like 12 eggs a day. So giving eggs to the neighbors has been something that they need to do because there's too many eggs. And then because of that, it fostered a relationship. And one of the other neighbors started building a compost because of that. And then he started also mentioning that their fence was broken, and he works in construction, was able to build them a really nice fence for that. These things start naturally happening. So ask yourself, where am I in surplus? Where am I in deficiency? And how can I start moving that energy around to start creating that change? Anyways, hope that was helpful, and wishing everybody a wonderful day.